A father's son. Mrs. Jones found her son, Mike, at the football field, talking animatedly to his teammates. He was wearing a yellow t-shirt with the team's logo, white shorts, yellow socks, and sneakers. Seeing him this way made her feel very proud, fulfilled, and contented. On the way home in the car, Mike asked, "Mom, can we visit Dad now?" "It's late," Mrs. Jones said, looking at her watch. "We might get caught in the traffic. Besides, look at the dark clouds. It's about to rain." "You said we could visit him any time I wanted. You promised, remember?" Mike said quietly. Mrs. Jones nodded. As she drove, she wondered what her son was thinking. Mike was quiet, yet quite restless throughout the ride. Then she noticed the abrasions on Mike's knees, still fresh, pink, and slightly swollen. When she asked about them, Mike explained what had happened. Getting bruises every now and then was part of the game. Mrs. Jones and Mike soon drove past a wide gate. The path was lined with sculptured greens, tall trees and flowering bushes on both sides. The car rolled to a stop under a shady tree. Mrs. Jones and Mike got off the car and walked the rest of the way. They slowed down and stood by a tombstone that read, "William Jones, 1974 to 2019, rest in peace." "Hey, Dad. Our team won the football match today," Mike started to say before lifting his knees to let his father see the abrasions. "They hurt a little, but I'll be fine." Mrs. Jones could not help but smile as she listened to her son. He was young, but mature for his age. Mrs. Jones and Mike would visit Mr. Jones often, especially on important events in Mike's life. They would spend at least an hour there. Right there by the tomb, they would find solace and peace. Soon, it was time to say goodbye. Mike touched the marble slab briefly before leaving with his mother. He had barely taken a few steps before he turned to his mother. "Could you wait here, Mom? I forgot to tell Dad something." Mrs. Jones understood. She nodded as Mike ran back and knelt before his father's tomb, his head bowed. Mrs. Jones watched, tears welling up in her eyes. She knew with all her heart that Mike would grow up to be a sensible and loving son.